When it comes to DJing software, I have always been a user, as far back as I can remember, of Rekordbox DJ. Is this the best DJ software on the market? Well, no, absolutely not. In fact, I do think that this is largely down to personal preference in terms of what you are looking for as a DJ. I've always favored Rekordbox because of convenience. It connects well into hardware like this FLX4, and you don't have to pay anything extra to unlock performance features. And you can also export tracks to USB for use in CDJs. It's all in one place, and it's just been very, very convenient for me. So you could say until now, my head has never really turned, but that is all about to change. And in today's video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and overview of Algoriddim DJ. Now, before you get at me in the comments, if you're sat there wondering why I'm only just discovering Algoriddim in 2026, I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you. Rekordbox has always served me quite well, but I do have a couple of friends that have moved from Serato and Rekordbox over to Algoriddim, and that's what they're using now to DJ with. And they have said to me, you really need to check this out. And I think as well at the end of 2025, when they announced this one library thing, whereby Traktor, Rekordbox, Algoriddim, they all share like the library system now, whereby you can copy across hot cues, beat grids, all of that kind of stuff, and export onto USB from any of these platforms for use in CDJs. It really started intriguing me a bit, and I thought to myself, I'm really going to have to investigate a little bit further. Now, very quickly, before we jump onto the controller and I give you a bit more of an in-depth intro and overview, what I absolutely loved about Algoriddim being a brand new user is its versatility. It works well with a mobile phone, it works well with a tablet, or if you want to be a bit more traditional, you can install it on your laptop too. And it is plug in and play, it just seems to work. Now, this is fantastic if you're a beginner DJ and you want something very simple, straight out the box that is going to work. And the great thing is that you don't even need to buy a piece of DJ hardware like this controller. You could literally start DJing on your mobile phone because it allows you to mix one track into the other, and it integrates with Spotify too. And then when you've got enough money and you're enjoying it, then you can invest in the controller and then plug in that to take your DJing to the next level, and then slowly upgrade your setup till you get to that more kind of pro sort of high end. So it supports people from beginner, very, very beginner, right the way through to pro levels. So all levels of DJ are covered. The other cool thing is subscription prices are very, very low. I've spoken on this channel a lot about Rekordbox subscriptions, and I always say, if you opt for a hardware unlocked device, then you don't need to pay for Rekordbox. And that is the best way to get Rekordbox, in my opinion, because if you are subscribing, it is very, very expensive. Algoriddim here in the UK is only £6.99 a month, or I think it's like $48.99 a year, which is pretty affordable in comparison to the likes of Rekordbox. By the way, this video is not sponsored or anything by Algoriddim. This is really just filmed out of pure curiosity. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's jump onto the controller and I'm going to show you how it all works and a bit of an overview using my iPad. Okay, so in terms of this setup then, we have got the FLX4 controller. I've got Algoriddim DJ loaded on the iPad. The iPad is the cheapest iPad money can buy. It's not an iPad Pro, iPad Air or anything like that. And then just off of camera, I have then got my FLX4 plugged into my iRig Stream. This is how I'm going to be recording the audio today, because I'm going to be showing you how this works with Spotify tracks, which of course you can't record internally. And then I have got the iRig Stream just plugged into my iPhone and the DJM Rec app. Okay, so for this demonstration of Algoriddim, I've got a couple of tracks loaded into the iPad from Spotify, and this is kind of the default view of Algoriddim. It's like the pro DJ view, very much virtual decks and waveform at the top, playlists at the bottom, so quite familiar when it comes to DJ software overall. Now, the cool thing with Algoriddim is that you can customize this view by clicking the little record at the top, which is good. You've got like a starter mode. This is actually very, very useful if you are a brand new DJ, or maybe you're just testing out what different transitions sound like. This very much uses almost like the smart fader feature from the FLX4, but you don't need to actually like activate the smart fader. It will start everything automatically, adjusting the BPM as you start to mix using the crossfader. Keeping everything in time. So that's really quite cool. But yeah, definitely a few different views that you can try out there. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to have a look at the Pro view, which, as I say, is that kind of traditional DJ software view. Now, this integrates with a number of different streaming platforms and services, which is really quite good. If you want to turn any of these on or off, just click on the three dots at the bottom there and you can see all of the different options there. So we've got Spotify, Apple Music, but maybe if you don't use Apple Music, you can just toggle that off. You can even have your own playlists and your local files on there as well. So lots of flexibility when it comes to playlists. And also I just find that this view, this whole thing is very simple, very, very intuitive. Underneath the virtual decks and the waveform, then you've got like the crossfader, which you can see there. It's very reactive as I go left to right on the actual FLX4. Then you also have a loop underneath there. Press that and it just activates a beat loop. And then you've got the track tempo and of course the sync button there. Now, if I hit play on the track, now I am plugged in directly from the iPad into the FLX4. Very, very responsive, like in general, like everything is absolutely fantastic in terms of the responsiveness. I have found when you connect via Bluetooth, you do get a little bit of lag. The other thing as well with Bluetooth connectivity is that you do seem to lose your headphone, the ability to mix in the headphones. Me personally, I would just try and recommend wiring it in directly just for the best response. And the good thing to note is that this is also very, very still active via touch. So you can still control anything to do with the music via sort of the touch screen as well as your DJ controller. So you've almost got a dual control. So if anything fails on your controller, you've still got an element of control on the iPad screen. Before we continue, I just want to call out my brand new website for 2026, djresources.net. Link is down in the description. I am very active on this website, trying to give as much free information out as possible. There are a ton of free guides already and I'm adding to them on a weekly basis. So if you want a guide on how to get DJ gigs, what EQs do, where DJs get music from, you'll find all of that information completely free of charge on djresources.net. In addition, maybe you are learning how to become a DJ in 2026. Maybe you're really struggling with DJ transitions, beat matching. Well, on this website as well, you will find my Ultimate Beginner DJ course. And if you sign up to that course, you will also get access to an exclusive Discord community and you can ask me any questions. Link in the description down below. djresources.net is the one site that you need in 2026. Let's talk about some of the other menus. Underneath the waveforms, you'll see here we've got three options, and this is where we start to unlock a lot of the creative features of Algoriddim. To the right, you've got square with lots of miniature squares in it. This is like a sampler. Now this will trigger a load of preloaded samples that are already in Algoriddim. You can do this in two ways. You can either do it via the iPad, or if you want to, you can control it via the controller. You simply hit sampler, but you want to hit it on both sides, so both channel 1 and channel 2 of your FLX4, because these are samples shared across both channels. So this half of the iPad will be controlled by these 8 sample pads, and this half of those samples will be controlled by these. So nice and fun there. Now, the main creative features, also just quickly before we move on, if you don't like these samples, you can swap them out. There are different sample packs that you can download from the App Store, which is quite cool. So there's different sample packs there. So very, very customizable from that perspective. Moving on then, if we go back to the middle, you've got your musical note. That's how you get access to all of your playlists. But next to that, you've got a little mixer kind of icon. So you'll see here that we have our mixer section in the middle, and then you have all of like the creative features underneath. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all start from the far right. So if you touch any of these menus, it basically opens up that particular menu. So you've got your EQ first and foremost. I don't know why you need it because it's already in the middle. So yeah, you've got your EQ, obviously controlled via the controller. You can see there, I'm just manipulating that. Let's just get the song playing, that might help. Very, very responsive though. And of course, you've also got your color effects, which is the filter. So controlled there. Next up, we've got our effects. Now there are 3 different types of effects in Algoriddim. You have a pad effect. Now this is actually controlled via the iPad, which is pretty cool. It's almost like a chaos pad. It's the best way to describe it. So if you click on this, click play on the track, I've got a simple gate. There's a lot of different effects that you can choose from. These are probably the most unique effects I have ever seen on any DJ software. Very, very different to Rekordbox and DJing effects, but we've got loads of different effects to choose from. But we're going to stick with a simple gate, and then if you drag your finger, you can see there we've got that simple gate effect. Next up, we have our instant effects. These are probably more better known as your pad effects. So if you hit pad effects on your deck, you can then trigger those effects. Got a reverb there, a gate. Now these can be swapped out if you don't like any of these effects. Click on the little pencil there, and then you get these 3 little dots that appear next to the effects. And then once again, you can pick from the vast range of effects that are available within Algoriddim. So that is your pad effects, known as instant effects in this particular software. And then we have our manual effects. Now there are 3 that you can trigger at any one point in Algoriddim, but the top one is controlled via the beat effects on the FLX4. So I've got this one called triple trap at the moment. So if I press play on the track, and then if I switch it on, you can see there we've triggered it on there. Seems like a little bit of a delay there in getting it started, but and then you can also select via the effects selector button there. You can see the tick there is moving down, so lots again to choose from in terms of effects, beat effects. But they are known as manual effects. But then you've also got them that you can trigger up to 3, and they can be manually done. But of course, you can only control 1 via the beat effects section of your DJing mixer, or the mixer in the FLX4, for example. But you can trigger more via the iPad, which is very, very cool. Next up, we've got our looping controls. So we've got manual loop controls, but also beat loops. So you can go onto beat loop mode onto your FLX4 and click manual and move across to auto. That then triggers, you've got different beat loops there. So you've got 1 beat loop, 2 beat, 4, 8 and 16. You can also have manual beats as well. So this is where you can control the in and out. You can use the looping buttons on the FLX4, to be honest, so you don't actually need to touch the iPad, but you've got in and out buttons there. Next up, we've got our hot cues. So this is controlled again via the FLX4 with no mapping required. So this is where you'll just find your hot cues. So you can just record those. and you can delete those by pressing Shift, just like you would do in Rekordbox as well. And then finally at the end we have stems, or what is known as neural mix. So neural mix is what they call stems in Algoriddim. Now neural mix, I'm just going to load a track because obviously Spotify you can't use stems, but let's just load a track which is going to support stems because I want to show you this. Now let's press play. Now the cool thing with stems, number one, or neural mix, sorry, with this feature, it's very, very clean. I feel like it sounds good, but also you can control how much you want of each element within the track. So you have a bit more control. Whereas with say like Rekordbox and Serato, it's almost like a very much, you either have the vocal or you don't have the vocal. You have the drums or you don't. Here, you can actually control the level. So if I press play, so you can control the volume of the stem. Or if you want to go for that traditional kind of in or out, you can do that. Now, of course, with the FLX4, there are no dedicated stems controls. I haven't quite figured out how to actually map stems from Algoriddim onto the pads, but you can easily trigger these from the iPad. And the stems sound pretty clean as far as software goes, so I think this is very, very good. But one thing that this does, and this, in my opinion, trumps other DJ software on the market, is that from this drop down in the middle, we have EQ, but we also have neural mix EQ and neural mix crossfader. So you can actually apply stems to, or neural mix, it is stems, but you know what I mean, to either the EQ or the crossfader. So if I now fade up the track, that is really cool because you can do that at a touch of a button, so you can control your stems. Hopefully that is a good introduction to Algoriddim DJ if you've never come across it before. I think it is really comprehensive software for a very, very reasonable price considering the features that it has. In terms of use cases, I think this is suitable for pretty much any DJ. If you are literally beginning to start getting into DJing, you've never touched a piece of DJ hardware before, you could start off with this and get used to it just on your tablet. Like for example, if I just unplug this, okay, it's going to stop playback, but now I can start playing straight off of, obviously I need to go onto the equalizer, put the faders up, but I can literally start DJing on my iPad right now. You can literally start playing around with music on an iPad, on a phone, and then when you're ready, you can start introducing the DJ controller, you know, once you eventually buy one. And then, yeah, it's good enough to perform with as well. I've seen DJs like Laidback Luke use this on big festival stages with the phone and a dedicated controller. So I feel like it has got something for everyone. Very, very versatile and very, very affordable. I have been very, very impressed. And the great news is that it does seem very, very intuitive, unlike other DJ softwares out there. I've literally been playing with this for about 45 minutes before recording this video, and I feel like I've got to grips with where everything is, the library system, and some of the key controls. So you can really just focus on having fun with music as opposed to figuring out complex software. So there we have my thoughts and opinions on Algoriddim DJ and a bit of an intro. Please do not hate me in the comments. I know I'm jumping on the Algoriddim bandwagon a little bit late, but my head is definitely firmly turned nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Let me know what software you use. You use Algoriddim now and you're thinking, Karl, welcome to the club, but you are far too late. Are you someone that really just wants to stick it out with Rekordbox or maybe Serato or Traktor? Shout out to my members as always. You are displayed on screen right now, and I will catch you in the next video.